Hi everybody, it's Dave Griffiths here from runlikeadrain.com. I'm going to do some match betting guide videos, and the first one has been prompted by somebody who's actually emailed me and had to ask me a question through the website. It's somebody who's just about to start doing match betting, but a little bit unsure, had a few questions, and one question that he did ask in the email that he sent me was this. He says, would putting £250 in a new bank account to cover the qualifying bets and £250 in Betfair to cover the lay bets, would that cut the mustard, or is that not enough? Well, £500 is certainly enough. My advice would be to actually split the money, not 50-50. I would put more in Betfair than I would separate to do the back-in bets with the bookmakers, and let me explain why that would be the case. Okay, so let's have a look at the Coral sign-up offer, because if you do sign up through OddsMonkey, you get a free trial, and the first one you can do, which is free of charge to do this, is the Coral one, and it says bet £5 and you get £20 worth of free bets. So there are some terms and conditions. Obviously you need to deposit £5 and you need to back something with odds of a minimum of 1.5. So you would back that with Corals and then you would lay it on the betting exchange to protect your money. So let me just show you that in the calculator. I've found an example here, and it's backing at £5 at 1.55, laying at 1.56, and that protects their money as best we can. You're going to lose 13 pence on that qualifying bet. However, that would then free up the £20 worth of free bets. Now, when you do the qualifying bets, we try and find prices as low as we can that fit the criteria, so they have to be at odds that would qualify you, but we want to keep the odds as low as we can because that limits our liability. If the horse loses at Corals, or the football match loses, whatever sporting event you've backed, if it lost at Corals you would lose £5. But you'd win a little bit at the exchange. You'd win the £4.87 there, so you'd lose 13 pence. Vice versa, if it wins at Corals, then obviously that's fine, you'll have a bit of money in your Corals account, but you'll lose £2.87 in the exchange, so again you'll be 12 pence worse off. Where the problem is, and where you need more money in your Betfair account, is for when you do bigger prices, when we're doing the free bets, because we try to keep the risk as low as possible and minimise our losses on the qualifying bets, but we want to maximise them on the free bets. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I go into the odds matcher, now it's 20 to 10 at night. There's not a great deal going on, to be honest, so it's probably not the best time, and there's some football matches, but some of them are not for a few days ahead. Now one tip I would give you when you first start off is when you go into the filter, obviously we're looking for Corals, so I've already limited the bookmaker to select just Corals only. I've selected Betfair, which is the only exchange account you'll have when you first start. You'll open the others up later, but when you first start you'll only have Betfair. And the other thing, obviously I've set it there, back odds of 1.51, so that we qualify. Whatever happens, we're going to qualify. Now I've reduced that down to a maximum of 4.0 because I don't want a high price. But when you've got the free bets, what we want to do then is we want to maximise that, so we want to get bigger prices. So let's say we go for something at say 5s up to a maximum of say 20. Now one tip I would suggest is here you've got a time factor. So obviously right now, within an hour, within 3 hours, within 6 hours, etc., within a day, I would suggest that when you first start off, you don't want to tie your money up. It's okay when you've got thousands of pounds to play with, but if you're just starting off with £250 in your budget, or £500, or maybe even only 100, you don't want to tie it up on a sporting event by backing something and laying something, but where the result isn't going to be known for 7 days, because then you can't do anything with that money. It's all tied up. So try and keep it short. So I'll apply the filter and let's just see what that brings up. Okay, so there's a horse there. Look, we could back that. That's tomorrow at 5 to 6 in the evening. and you can back it at 6s and lay it at 6.2. Oh, it says only. Oh, I forgot to do that. Hang on. We need to be able to back £20 here. So let's change that to 20. Let's just make it 25 just to make sure. So we've got £25 minimum liquidity in the market. So what that means is that it won't show us anything where there's less than 25, because we need to get £20 match, don't forget. So now look at the rating on there. They're not very good. I would personally be waiting for something better to do, but let me just show you as an example. If I click on here, it's defaulted to the 5 we did before. I'm going to change it to free bet. I'm going to change it to 20. Now what you'll notice is, because the price is bigger, we're backing it at 8.5 and we're laying it at 9. Don't forget now, if the bet wins in the if we lose effectively, so we have to pay out in the exchange, you're going to have to pay out in the exchange from your Betfair account £134 from your Betfair account, whereas in your Corals account it's a free bet, so it's not going to cost you anything. So the Coral side of things doesn't matter, but the Betfair side of things, you're actually going to lose £134 of your money. Now what's going to happen is you'll have 150 in the bookmaker account with Corals, but don't forget it's in Corals. You need it in your Betfair account, or you need it in your own bank account. You're going to need to get that money out of there. So once the bet's been settled, you're going to need to withdraw that money so that you can then start using it on the next sign-up offer that you do. Now, some bookmakers are better than others. Some of them will pay the money out within 24, 48 hours. Some of them make you wait for 3 days. The other thing I would strongly suggest you do as well is, when you first sign up for these accounts, make sure when you start doing the odds monkey scenario, make sure that you've got a scan version of your latest gas bill, electric bill, phone bill, that type of thing. One of those you'll need something like a driving license or a passport scanned on your computer, so that when they say to you, well, you can't withdraw because we haven't seen any ID, you can send it to them straight away, so they can't hold the money back. Okay, so that is a bit of an issue when you first start off, is keeping your money moving around your accounts where you can use it. You've got to think of your money, your bankroll, that initial money that you put into the situation. That's effectively your tool of the trade. You need that money to work for you. It's no good having it sitting in Corals. It's no good having it sitting in Ladbrokes or whatever. You need that money back out so you can then start to make it work again for you. So the bigger the price is, the bigger the liability. Now what I would suggest to you is that, for argument's sake, if you found something which is happening like within the next hour or two that you could back and lay, and you only made, well, let's go back to that example. Let's see what that one gave us. I've forgotten that. Right, there you are. That's going to earn you about, on the free bet side of things, that would earn you £15.92. Now let's say that was going to happen in 2 or 3 days time, but you could win £15.20 like within the next hour, or within a couple of hours. Then I would say go for the lower profit, because you're going to get your money out quicker. You can then move on to the next free bet. Okay, so don't do sporting events when you first start off where you're thinking, yeah, that's a great price, but unfortunately it's now Thursday afternoon and the football match that gives me the great price kicks off on Sunday afternoon. That's no good at all. Okay, you need to keep your money ticking over as fast as you can. So what I would suggest in this situation is, I would perhaps do £100 in my account to pay into the bookmaker accounts to when you first start off. You may need to increase that when you start doing some of the bigger ones, but the easy ones that you start off with, you'll only have to deposit £10, £20, £30, £40, maybe £50. But what you will need is, you'll need as much as you can in your Betfair account, because that will enable you to have a couple of bets being laid at the same time. Whereas if you did it like this with the 250 and the 250, you could very quickly have that money tied up, which would mean you then can't do any more bets until that's been settled. So my advice to you is, in this match betting guide, is when you first start off, £500 is fine. It's more than enough to get started with, but use your money wisely. Don't tie it up for long periods of time by backing sporting events which take place 3 days, 4 days, 7 days in the future. Try and do something which is going to happen, within the next 5 or 6 hours would be great, but certainly no further ahead than the next day. And think about your money and think about moving it around to keep it working. If you've got money just sat doing nothing, it's not earning you any money. You need to make the money work for you. And my other tip was, don't forget to get your ID sorted out, have it scanned, have it on your whatever, if you use a computer or use a laptop, have it saved in a folder, so that when they say, yeah, but we want your ID, you can go bing, there you go, and you can just upload it straight to the website. There's my driving license, there's my gas bill or whatever it is, and then they'll get your money out. Alright, so hope you found that useful. Check back on my blog, runlikeadrain.com, for future updates and videos that I'll do on match betting. And if you're new to match betting and you haven't yet tried it, by all means, there's a link on my website which you can find, which will take you through to Odds Monkey, and also one to take you through to Betfair. If you've got any questions, then just please email me. It's dg@ and then it's runlikeadrain.com. Okay, thanks very much.